Hey guys, this is Alisha Costanzo and welcome back to my channel. I am going to be changing over my traveler's notebook, which is this thing, which I made all by myself. Well, with a tutorial on YouTube. This cute fairy paper and this fake leather stuff and some sparkly hodgepodge. And then some ribbits and elastic. There we go. That's the word for that. I was thinking stretchy, but in that stretchy string, and that wasn't accurate. So you can see what it looks like now. This is my old yearly projects, Tatiana's diary, which I still haven't finished, but I really am hoping to finish next week after I'm done going through all of my Blood Phoenix series. Power plan for last year, my editorial calendar for last year. What is this? So this is my outline and notes for Inferno. And then these are my notes for Lily Graves 2, which I'm working on right now and will be next year. So this one's going to stay, and it even has a companion now. So I think that's everything that's in here. Yep. As you can probably tell, it's pretty bare at the moment. It was stuffed full the beginning of last year, or beginning of 2019. So I'm going to show you guys my setup and refill this baby here in a minute. But let me show you all of the notebooks that I have for this year. And here's my first one. This is my Time anthology, which is now called On Time. And this one is, you're going to see, is far different than all of the other ones in color and style other than the foiling, and that's because this is transmundane related rather than personal writing related. So you can see I have all of my market stuff. I'm not going to show you all of the people's names and whatnot, but just a quick, this one. Okay, there's nobody on here that I can't show their name. There's a few people I can't show their actual names, but you can see I have all of their names and my tracker, which is, Facebook contract, first edit, second edit, third edit, proofread, return, copy edit, and payment. So I have several things. Then I have again for marketing purposes, interviews, photos, marketing, our media kit, actually putting up their interview. So this is them answering questions, this is me posting it, their excerpt, their feature on the newsletter, and their author page on our website. And then Kickstarter brainstorming. We had our first successful Kickstarter for our last anthology that we did, our last big one, which was Transcendent. So we're going to do it again and hopefully actually make enough money on the pre-orders and stuff, because that's essentially what we do with Kickstarters, to pay our authors more money. And you can see just interview schedule, guest post schedule, excerpt schedule, YouTube schedules, and one final page for whatever. I got pretty close to filling this whole thing up for everything we need, and I'm going to use this a lot next year, as you will see. I haven't done this in a really long time to keep track of my edits, but I keep a list where my priorities are right now in my tracker. Let me show you. So right here, I used to have the list of stories I had to edit every week in my running tally, and I'm going to move that back in here. As you can see, I typically have a little bit of space, so that's going to take up that space, and I'm cool with that. Or it might even be over here. We'll see what happens. It might be my admin section, my empty admin section. So I'm going to do that. So that's my time notebook. That is going to be in there for quite a while because it doesn't publish until June. So yeah. Then we have this one. I believe this is my Loving Red, because the bear. Because I have a bear and a wolf and a human triangle, and they're actually all going to be happily ever after at some point. It's an actual romance, paranormal romance. So, and it goes along the side of my Blood Phoenix stories, but I don't have anything in here yet. I haven't started brainstorming. I'm not going to start working on this until the end of 2020, so this one's not going in the Traveler's Notebook yet. I have this one, which I believe is Brad and Shy. I love you most in all the galaxy. It's very lovey-dovey. I think theirs is purely romance. It's actually side to Loving Red. Their stories intersect because Brad is the professor, as Rhea likes to call him, in the Blood Phoenix series in Inferno. Rebirth, claimed, imprinted, Inferno, and then resurrected when I get there. But he gets his own little story. He left in book 3 and came back in book 4 on a mission, and that's where he met Shy, and that's where I'm going to brainstorm his stuff, and that should be happening sometime this summer. I will be writing his first story. My extra notes for my Lily Graves number 2, I don't have anything in there, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to do my marketing and planning and stuff in here. A lot of my blog post planning. Last time I did Graves book 1, I did ethology lessons because that is what she was learning at the time, was about the different types of creatures that she came in contact with, because she was pretty close to purely human, she thought, until her mother's powers erupted, and her mother is Lucifer, of course. And so now she's in a new paranormal school, and she's learning to deal with that in book 1. So in book 2, she is actually the president of the newly formed student council that they have at the school for the purpose of creature relations, because something really big happens in book 1 that prompts this. And of course she doesn't want the position, but all of her friends and everybody else is like, nope, it's you, so good luck with that. So I'm going to have a lot of student council-y things, a lot of events and notes and stuff that's going to go in here for that. So this is going to be pretty much in my traveler's notebook for most of the year, the first part of the year. Help me with that stuff. So. And this one I'm pretty sure is Anthemos. Yep. Anthemos Romulus Calamprecian. He goes by Romulus most of the time, although I haven't referred back to that since book 1, Rebirth, Blood Phoenix series. He is actually Fea's son. Fea is my first ever vampire. She is the creation of all of paranormal creatures other than the Fae. There are 2 different types of species, but Fea was the daughter of Kronos, the father of time, the primordial god, and of the Atlantean woman. She's the reason Atlantis sank, and the reason she sank Atlantis was for her son, Anthemos, and he is the only Atlantean god left of the Pantheon. And I have ideas for that for my young adult series, which I have a while until I get there, but he is the reason we have shifters, wolves, cats, hawks, all this stuff, mating with different human beings, created the different shifter characters that I have in my world. So I'm going to be creating his story with the actual woman that he loved, which was the creation of the wolves, which prompted his mother, Fea, the queen of all vamps, the bloody queen, the one that Rhea is fighting against right now, he fought with her because she was jealous of the love that he had for this woman, and so he made their blood poisonous to each other, and that's where that myth comes from. So I'm going to be writing that story, and that is what this book is for. What one is this? This is my freelance book. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. This is pretty much going to be in my traveler's notebook all year because I'm going to be creating my pitch. I'm going to be tracking who I've sent that pitch to, who's agreed, what type of website stuff I can do for them, what type of copywriting, etc. That is what I'm going for this year, is to work on websites for the pod industry in Oklahoma because they're just up and coming, and nobody has a good website, and it's really infuriating for people who have social anxiety to not understand when they go to the store what they're actually going to fucking find there. And I've said that to several of them, but nobody seems to be getting on the bandwagon to keep going through things like Weed Maps and Leafly, which is kind of like going to Facebook to figure out what's going on at Target. You actually go to the Target website if you want to know what the fuck's going on with Target, and that's what these people need, but nobody's listening to me, so that's what this is for. I am going to freelance the shit out of these people, and hopefully make some money at the same time. And I know that's still quite a controversial topic for most people, pot use, marijuana, and that type of thing. I have my medical card because I fell when I was 22, 23 at a restaurant and hurt my hip and pretty much have constant sciatic pain and other things. I have a wonky elbow from working at Pizza Hut where I also fell, and of course I have social anxiety and headaches, which is my main one, is it helps my headaches and my hip. So beyond that, like, I know a lot about it because, well, I know a lot about it. We'll just put it that way. I am that barefoot hippie teacher at school, if that says anything, with the long curly hair, etc. So I'm gonna get into that business, one because I know a bit about it, and two because it really needs some friggin' help. And I don't know if you can hear the rain outside, but it's really pretty in background noise for me right now, keeping me calm. All right, freelancing notebook, gonna be in there all year. This one is Lishki. So I have a pseudonym, Autumn Lishki. It's erotic short stories, and I mean like purely erotic short stories, even though a lot of my Blood Phoenix series and my Loving Red series has erotic moments in it. It's very sexy, very violent. This is just purely normal, no paranormal extra stuff, although maybe some paranormal extra stuff, who knows. But I am going to be working on building her brand this next year. I want to write at least 4 short stories to publish on her next year, and so this is what this notebook is going to help me with, is planning a cohesive series that I can market well and hopefully bring in some extra side income. It's my porn notebook. Yep, it's going to be in there all year. You've seen this before. This is my planning project schedule. This is going to be in there all year because I have a ton of things that I have to do, and this is what helps me set up all of my other notebooks and my bullet journal. So this will be in there. And my cat is scratching at something. That is Rhea, my cute little white bunny kitty, who, by the way, has gained some weight since we switched food. So I don't know if anybody's heard. Sorry, cat detract. My one big gray kitty, he's a wild kitty, or has a lot of wild mix in him. We found out I had diabetes, so we had to switch our food, and 5 of the 6 cats got really better during that time. We didn't know that the food change affected our oldest cat, or that he had kidney problems. I thought his bad breath was the new food, and the little bump in his back was, he's always had back problems. I thought it was one of those, but it was his kidney. And unfortunately he died from that. But she was really, really skinny. You could feel her spine, and now she's actually got chunk to her. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't know why I went on the sidetrack about my kitties. It's gonna make me cry. So, anyways, this one is upside down. This is Riley and Eli. This is another offshoot of the Loving Red saga. Riley was Severin's best friend growing up. She's a wolf, he's a wolf. And Eli helped save Severin's and Kaya, Little Red, as I like to call her, from a whole bunch of attacks that happened at his house. And he is a tree dryad. And he ends up getting taken away, stuck in a tree at the end of book 1 of the Loving Red saga, and Riley is going to go try to save him, and that's going to be their little love story. And then I'm going to do stuff in this one. This will also be in the summertime. You've probably seen this one before. This is my marketing notebook. This one is for my blog posts. Nothing real fancy in there at the moment, but this will be in there all year. Same with this one. This is my YouTube posting and filming schedule. I've showed it to you before. This one also is going to be in there all year. This is how I transfer stuff into my bullet journal, so I know what the hell is going on, and I can revamp and stuff in here because it's all in pencil. So, yes, all year. This one is new. I don't know how long this is going to be in there, but this is just notes for my websites that I am personally taking care of on my own. So I have my Broken World or my Alisha Costanzo website. I have my Transmundane website. I have my full-time freelance website, as well as my other side freelance website. One is mostly focused on the idea of getting a consistently paying project that I would keep updated on social media and websites and stuff for, again, the pod industry. And the other is for me doing freelance copywriting, proofreading, helping people with their essays, because, you know, my teachers are tutoring, self-publishing, vanity publishing, those kinds of things. It's going to be more one-off issues rather than a market towards more full-time or consistent work. So this one is for maintaining those websites and those that I have to build them, etc. Alright, so those are all the notebooks for my traveler's notebook, but I wanted to show you guys the other parts of my setup since I didn't really feel up to showing you guys that kind of stuff beforehand. This one is something that's going to be part of my setup for a long time. It's my writing journal. I haven't updated it yet. I've started to, but these are just notes that I like to have that don't fit in my bullet journal because my bullet journal doesn't go with me every year. I change those out. So these are just, you know, I'm going to be filling this up in a bit, but like fantasy tropes and what kind of structure and those types of notes from reading books and watching YouTube videos and all of those things. Research is all, this is my writing bullet journal. So. And I also have this one, which you know looks quite similar. This is actually my project notebook for my Broken World companion book. I am starting to get close to the end of that series, and I've had several of my readers ask me for companion novels because they have so many questions. It's so detailed. I have so many characters. So I started working on that, different categories that I want to do for it, and I don't really plan on getting really deep into this until the end of the year, but it's nice to have to start. I have a lot of notes from reading my first 3 books so far, as you can see on my little bookmarks that I had, which is leftover sticker paper. And I'm going to be filling this out. Just going to be sitting over here when I think of things. Yeah. Right now I'm currently trying to replan out my Pantheon for Atlantis, because after this series, when I work on my young adult series, that's a kind of side to this one. The current young adult series has nothing to do with the Broken World series, but I do have a companion young adult series that I'm going to be doing with the kids of the adults that I have now, and part of that is going to be, one of the kids is going to be reintroducing or re-establishing the Atlantean Pantheon, and I'm pretty excited about that, figuring out who's going to be who, because I don't think it's going to be the same people that it was before. It's going to be interesting. Alright, but that's this notebook. And then finally, I have, as you've seen before, my 2020 bullet journal. And real quick, I wanted to show you guys what it looked like. You guys saw my yearly tracker, yearly goals, all of my project pages that are going to be filled up. In addition to those notebooks on the side, these are going to be kind of the cleaned up versions of those notes, because I'm a perfectionist. And then I did end up color coding this, my looking at the future and my blog for 2020. And then I have reading list and word count tracker. I haven't put this in pen yet, but this is quarter 1, normal stuff, quarter goals, quarter project plans, and then January I did set up off camera, very wintry, even though it's nicest shirt here right now, it's like in the 50s and stuff. Something about this just made me, it spoke to me at the moment. That idea of unlocking something new and hopefully breaking some of the things that sucked this last year. 2019 was a pretty awesome year until we got down to December, which is sad because that's where half the people I know's birthdays are, my husband included, Christmas Eve baby, and I don't know, it fit my mood at the moment, so I've got January set up. Same look as it usually has, my editorial calendar. I've got nothing here yet, but that's how that's gonna look. And those are my setups. So now I am going to exchange all of those notebooks and set this up for 2020. I am triple stacking now. That's how full our projects are. So It's kind of sticking out a little farther than I would like it to. Yeah, look how full that is. That is my setup. Luckily this doesn't go anywhere with me, it just stays on my desk. So, that is my traveler's notebook setup and my planner setup for 2020. And here in a moment, I'm going to flip this camera around and talk to you a little bit about why I love the system that I have, the bullet journal and stuff, as much as I do. So, be right back. Hey guys, so just really want to quickly talk about why I love the bullet journal so much. I know a lot of authors use it, a lot of people are in the bullet journal community on PlannerTube, and I'm not really PlannerTuber, I'm more author, even though I do create Plan With Me videos, and that's just because it keeps me accountable, which is one of the reasons why I like the bullet journal. But reasons I love the bullet journal. First, art and color. I get to print out pieces of art from artists that I love that gives me a kind of theme or a feel for a month. It also creates the color pattern that I use in my bullet journal. And I get to play with markers and pens and protractors and all these fun things that I used to love to do when I was an artist. I used to actually color in my notebooks, my actual pictures before I put them in my bullet journal. I don't have time for that anymore, but it still becomes a creative outlet for me, and that's something I really love. I love creating my calendars and drawing. I love paper, I love pens, I love to do those things. So that's major number one, creative outlet for me to play with paper and markers. It is also a memory keeper. I don't do it the way a lot of bullet journalers do. I don't keep a one line a day or a gratitude log or any of those things. I tried it when I first started bullet journaling, and it was too hard for me to keep up with every day. I currently can barely keep my tracker straight. Like, I haven't been filling that out. It's just because life has been crazy. And so what I do like about it, though, is when on a day when something happens, I can mark it down and I can have that note like a diary and go back to it, so I know when important things happened. And I find that really important, like the day that our house got rained in because half of our roof wasn't done. I know exactly what day that happened because I wrote it down in my bullet journal. That's very important for me. Along with that, I also keep track of important events. Now, when you're busy, like I am, and you have 3 or 4 jobs, like I do, it's really important, sorry, that's my heater, really important to keep track of when events are happening, like the freelance book that I did this past year, the cookbook for Joyce. She had a launch party, and I needed to make sure I knew how to organize everything else around it because I had grading due the day after that party was due. So I knew I had to get all that stuff done before the party because I wouldn't get a chance that evening to finish grading because I was going to be helping Joyce sell her books, which was super fun, by the way. Super great food. I'm making her strawberry cake today. Oh my shit, I can't wait. I can't wait. If you get a chance, by the way, it's Joyce's holiday favorites. Joyce wins. Amazing food. Everything that I ate there. Oh, and super easy to make too. So I'm pretty excited about that. Anyways, the point of that was that I can plan myself around big things that need pockets of time and be sure that I get all my deadlines on time because that's really important to me. Deadlines. And that also happens when you are publishing a book that has 70 people in it. Could you imagine trying to keep track of 70 authors, how to market each one of them individually, as well as if you've edited their stories or not, if you've sent them to them, what round of edits you're on, if you've gotten their media kits. You saw my list for a time anthology. The first time I did this with After the Halfway of After, holy shit, was that a shit show. I didn't even have a marketing plan for that. We didn't have a consistent blog schedule. People were publishing them all over different places. Now I have them publish all on ours because we've got a pretty good following, and it brings them audience outside of themselves as well as their audience to us, and it's a really good cross-marketing, cross-networking plan. But the first time I did this, I didn't even get my story done until 3 days before the anthology was to be published. Holy shit show. I also had to send Amazon all of my contracts because they thought I was stuffing a book just to get more page reads and that type of thing to publish, which was a problem at the time. And even though my bullet journal helped me keep track, like I'm going to do for On Time this next year, with these stories are the ones that you have to do this week, etc. Keeping track of what was done. I couldn't, from week to week, that was all I could do. I couldn't keep a big picture book, but the bullet journal helps me with my week to week, and my notebook and my traveler's notebook helps me with the overall picture. So things have improved quite a bit since that first anthology. We've done another big anthology since, and we're on our third really big anthology to go with it. So I think, how many anthologies have we done so far? Holy crap. Just started underwater, after, on fire, transcendent, in the air, on time. So this will be our 6th anthology. It keeps getting better each time. Smoother. That's the point of keeping track of these things, is to make it smoother each time. Alright, I could probably babble about this for a long time. Bring it down, Alicia. Bring it down. It also forces me to think ahead. Really important, because all those things are going to get done on time. I keep my deadlines better if I have everything planned out piece by piece. And that is really important for me, for somebody who has a terrible memory like I do. Why I didn't use a planner when I was younger, I have no idea. I probably would have gotten way better grades had I had a planner, because most of the time the reason things don't get done isn't because I don't want to do them, it's because I don't remember to do them. So really keeps me on track, especially with my business. And this is really helpful, again, for somebody who has multiple jobs, because I have my business, I have freelance, I have my own author, I have teaching, and then I am a mom and a wife of a disabled husband, so I have a lot of things I need to keep track of. I also keep track of his appointments, my husband that way, the boy that way. And I don't know how I lived without this thing beforehand. I was probably a mess, which is super funny, because one of my students mentioned how organized I am in class. One of my students mentioned how I was the only teacher who had a plan for the whole semester and actually kept to my plan. Like, I have a schedule. I call it the Bible of my class. I print out every single day, this is what we're doing. This is if we have an in-grade class assignment. Here's if you have homework at night, when it's due. Those are bold. I don't change pretty much anything after I've handed that out to them. I warn them that things change, because, we might have a snow day, or I might get sick. Or like last year, I fell down my stairs and tore my muscle off my calf and had to put it back myself, and I didn't go to school that day, although I tried. My husband talked me out of it, which I'm glad he did, because I was in so much pain after the shock wore off. But I very stringently keep to that schedule, because if I didn't have that schedule, I would have gone into class and had no idea what the fuck I was doing, which happened the first year I taught. And I knew I needed a schedule, and then I found the bullet journal, and those things just kind of correlate with each other. I need things planned, or the hippy dippy me doesn't get things done because I don't remember. And yeah, anyways, rambling over, kind of, not really. Keeps me on track with my business and my personal stuff and my goals. Now, this next one is a double-edged sword. Because I have such lofty goals, I, as you saw, create big lists of things that I want to get done. As you saw, when I changed over from 2019 to my 2020 overall goal book for the year, that a lot of them came with me. I didn't get to them. And that's the thing. It pushes me to try to do more, because I have so much on my list. I want to do all of these big things. I have all these big goals. I want to grow. So it pushes me to keep trying new things and doing things outside of my comfort zone, and trying to not be distracted as much or procrastinate as much, so I can get all of those things done. Now, that's great for pushing me forward. It's done a lot for me getting things done. Like, I would never have gotten all this shit done that I have now if not for that. The double-edged sword of that, the negative of that, is that when I get behind, I feel as though I'm not productive. Now, this was a big issue for quite a few years. This is the 4th or 5th year, I think, I've been doing the bullet journal. And the first couple years, I got really mad at myself for not getting to all the things. Why can't I get these things done? I'm playing too much on my iPad, or watching too many YouTube videos, or just lazing around, which really, lazing around means I've been reading or writing instead of doing actual productive work for money. But a lot of people in the planner community talk about this. Not that I'm a planner tuber, but how seeing those things that are not checked off makes me feel like I'm not doing anything. And although that is true sometimes, I've kind of gotten over that feeling. not completely, but mostly. And the trick there is to understand that I'm trying to push myself farther, and that if I don't check those things off, they can just be migrated over to the next month. And if I don't get them through the year, they can be migrated into the next year, and then I can evaluate, well, is this really that important? It keeps getting pushed off, and not feel so mad at myself for not getting to specific things. That is one of the big bonuses, is to help prioritize the things that I need to get done versus just the things that I want to do. And that's really, really important for me, because again, I want to build. I want to keep building. I want authors to build with me. All of these things. I want us all to be productive together. And making those, by the way, making those lists, those big, big goals, and making them really small tasks and then checking them off is so satisfying. And that keeps me moving and motivated. So, other than the pressure, most of this is really good, positive things, as long as I don't let not getting certain things done get to me. I don't have really any negatives to it. I mean, if I forget to write in it, who's going to get mad at me? Me? It's their tool. It's a tool, which is funny because sometimes when I get really busy with grading, I don't use my notebook at all because I know I just have to grade. That's my #1 priority, so just get that done. Don't fiddle with that notebook until you get that shit done. And sometimes that doesn't happen until 10 o'clock at night when I go to bed, so my notebook gets ignored. And that's fine, because I can fill those things in later. Or just flip the page and start a new week, and it's a fresh start. And that's the awesome thing about the bullet journal and being in control of what goes in my notebook rather than finding a distinct planner, put everything in. I don't know. It also changes with me. I really love bullet journal, and I had to upgrade to a traveler's notebook too because there was just too much. But I couldn't fit everything in that notebook for a year. And some people do it like every 3 months one, but I like having my whole year together, and I like to separate things out and move things around, and I like paper. I like the fact that I made all of those notebooks, by the way, myself. I finally got a big stapler in order to do that, and I feel fancy. So anyways, I love the bullet journal. I'd love to know how you guys keep track of your things. I know I've asked a few times, but have you thought about doing a bullet journal? Does this maybe help you guys understand how versatile it can be for what you want to do, help push you to your goals, help keep track of things, help plan better? I never thought I'd be a planner. I'm a planner. I can't not plan now. I've gotten the bug. It's my thing. I love this thing. I try to get people in it all the time. It's like evangelical, do it, join me. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I hope you guys have a system that works for you, and if not, give the bullet journal a try. If it doesn't work, you can always use the rest of the notebook for something else, and that's the beauty of a bullet journal. So, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry for rambling me. I get really talky sometimes when I talk about things that I really like. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.